Oh, that looks pretty.
Yeah.
That's right. You're doing the edge.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
So crazy. Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
You say it so quietly.
Sorry, The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
It's like, don't be coy and shy and stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay, so pet peeve. Hi. Well, first, hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in not looking very sunny today, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. It's gonna rain.
That's what I figured. Okay, pet peeve with this sweat. This is the hip stripe sweater. I made it at the very early days of the pandemic, and like it was perfect when I made it, and it still is. It's just like it's a little shorter than my t-shirt, which is not a problem. Like I like a length that's a little longer than this now for sweaters, and I either have to tuck. I probably just have to tuck in my shirt, because if I just leave my shirt hanging, there's a really good chance it's going to do that.
Well, yeah.
And that just looks sloppy. It bugs me. I don't feel professional and presentable, but I just got to tuck it up or tuck my shirt in. But I don't like tucking my other shirt in. It's just weird. So, okay. Rant over. That rant. You all know me. So we're going to talk about whatever happened with the shop and us since we last saw you on Thursday. And I have a theme of knit-alongs to show you, and you're not specifically doing knit-along stuff.
I have progress to show on knit along, and then
mine's not just
thing,
the ranunculus.
Yeah.
But so last time you saw us, we were side by side because there was no power in town, and power came back. We were like, oh, I think the power's back on. Let's go to work. Yay! We lost power in the middle of the day again. So we did the troubleshooting as best we could. Things have been okay since then, though, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we had 1,000 cyclists in here on Saturday. I think.
Not in the shop, in town.
Oh God. I can't remember if we told you all that or just knit night that was happening, but that threw off my Saturday, both of our Saturdays, incredibly. I had a migraine where I couldn't see straight by the time I went home.
It was a full and eventful day. And
yes.
I'm
feeling much better.
A couple days of sleeping, lots of sleeping to get.
She slept. I did a little. I didn't do as much as a lot, but you know.
Well.
Is anyone out there surprised by that?
No.
I tried to make, speaking of the knit along, I don't know where we're transitioning to at the moment, but no show notes, people. I was hoping to make 4 videos yesterday on different parts of the top of the ranunculus to help people who are at that spot. I feel like not everyone, a small portion of people in our Facebook knit along group have blown past that, or were past that when they joined. Let's not forget that. Some people might have gone, oh, cool, other people are making this. And they didn't just start like last week. But I'm gonna try to keep making videos as I can, because they can be a reference for people making the ranunculus.
It stays in the popular list, so you know.
Yeah, I'm trying not to overtax myself, and I'm only halfway. I'm like, I feel like that meme that's like, I'm making a bad decision, but I know I'm making a bad decision, so partial credit. That's me right now. Okay, so I didn't get as many videos done as I wanted to, because that would have meant staying up knitting all night and then trying to film the next one. So, but I made progress on my other ranunculus, which I am very mysteriously going to hold on to until the end. So, So, do you want to start or end with that?
I can start with this.
Because it's
in the next little bit, I'm going to switch to purling. But I'm not.
I was like, does that mean you can't talk anymore because it's too much? No, she just doesn't purl.
I don't like it's all in the round now. So it's like knit all the way around and then purl. Bless their hearts. I love them. So, whoever was the one who said, do a short row and turn around and just knit around the top. I was like, oh my gosh, that's genius.
Oh, so it's still gonna look like you purled, but you're not gonna purl. You're gonna
I just do a short row. There is a little seam.
Magic floop-de-doo.
Yeah, there is like a little seam but there will be, but no purling.
As long as you don't hold it up and go, look at the seam right here. No one's probably gonna, very few people probably notice it. So,
and I'm okay
like,
with the seam.
I tell
because
people,
no purl.
yeah. I mean, which one would you rather have? That's a personal decision and you've made it. I tell people, like, if there's a mistake in your work, I mean, first of all, call it a design element and rock it. Second of all, don't walk around going, see, I messed up right here. Look, I messed up right here. Look, did you see this? Don't do that. Just, that could be the monologue in your head. Just keep it there and either shove it down or let it go. Let it go is better.
99% of the time when you get done with a project, even if there's a couple errors, you will never be able to go back and find them.
Yeah. And if you can, like if it's a hole or something, you can always mend that with the sewing needle. Like
armpits always have holes, but nobody walks around.
Walk around going, look, you can see my armpit. No, like these are not great, but I walk like this. And the other thing, like the other flip side of that is just rock it like a design element. If someone says there's a hole there, say, yeah, there is. Ha!
It's on purpose.
Yeah. Be like, I wanted to see how many of y'all would notice that. So score one for you. Moving on. No. Do what you're comfortable with. Everyone's got a different I don't care bar. So what is this, Liz?
This is my Hap Shawl.
It now looks like a basket.
Yeah, because it's on 70 inches worth of cord and it has over 102 stitches on each side.
So back up, because some people are probably going, especially if they haven't been watching the progress of this, they're probably going, what are you talking about? It looks like a bag to me, like a giant bag. So what's the sides? What are we talking about?
So when I made the diamond,
the center
that goes in the middle, it's a square that you build as a diamond. Then you go around and you pick up stitches, like there's little yarn overs all the way up where you increase. And so
it's all lacy and fun looking.
So I picked up all the stitches and had to back out a row and put in a row. And anyway, well, math, it's stupid. And so anyway, finally got the numbers right. And then there's an eyelet row. And then you change colors, and now I'm doing the next colors.
So here, can I grab you hold that, and I'm just showing this is the whole entire outside edge of the diamond of the center square. That is now like she's knitting across the whole thing, and it's all well, how long is this? This is a 60
It's 70. Inch? It's 50 plus 20. I have a little connector, and then 10.
And then tips.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's actually 80. She counts tips. The cord, it's a 50 inch and a 20 inch. And then she's got her 5 inch.
It was one of my Frankenstein cords that I had from way back in
the fun with interchangeable sets. Yeah. And so, most fixed that's an oxymoron, a fixed interchangeable set. Most interchangeable sets come with they won't come with a 50 inch cord. You have to buy that separately. They'll come with maybe up to a 47, like a 37 that you add the tips on and get to 47 inch length. The 50 is replicating a 60 inch fixed with the 5 inch tips. But yeah, we sell all different lengths of cords here that you can get connectors and Frankenstein. Yes.
So it's longer than that for a side because I've got some bunching over here,
but you've got 4 sides of this sucker.
I've got 4 sides.
All jammed onto one giant circular. That's pretty cool. And you probably could have done it on a even smaller circular, but then it starts getting a little
could have
tight.
Hold on. This is the cool. So if you're like, oh, it's gonna take a bigger cord.
Oh yeah, that's the very cool thing.
I could have put it
like
on a 16 inch.
Yeah, you could have jammed, especially with the lace weight being so fine.
Yeah,
but you don't need, my rule of thumb with a circular needle length when you're knitting in a circle. I mean, you can still do this flat too. Is you need one that is smaller in circumference than what you're knitting, because you can jam it on. You don't want to, if it's bigger in circumference for a circular knitting in the round like she's doing, it'll stretch your stitches out. So I have versions of that might kind of work like that. So of what I'm going to show off, but this is just, I made a little sample collar while I was working with a student last week, and just to show you, because I have a video on tips and tricks, but if you're wondering how on earth can the provisional cast on work, where you do usually a provisional cast on, which is this waste yarn, means that you have live stitches when you pull out this waste yarn, but that's not what happens with the ranunculus. And if you're like, that can't be possible, like, here's my magic trick. It's all going to stick together and be difficult. But here's my magic trick. I use the BFL, my feeder brook, to make this. So of course, as I'm pulling out the stitches, I have to, like, the fuzzies are catching, but all I have to do is undo. Come on, fuzzies that are sticking together. Every once in a while, I'm going to have to pull on this. If you get a cord sticking in your stitches like this, just be patient, So I'm going to keep pulling on this. And when the fuzzies make it so I have to stop pulling, I'm going to come over here and undo the fuzzies. And then, so if you have a fuzzy yarn, don't give up and cut it. Come over where the fuzzy yarn is and see if you can pull apart. No scissors are touching this. I'm going all the way down to my slip knot, and then I can pull it out. I'm gonna have to keep pulling on all this waste yarn. Oh wait, wrong way. That's attached to a ball. I gotta pull this way. And look, there's my collar with the really stretchy.
Yay.
And the waste yarn's not on it, and there's nothing that's gonna unravel. Trust the pattern. Trust the pattern. If you're way past that, then just appreciate it and try it on your next ranunculus. So I'm gonna go backwards to the ranunculus, I think. To show off other things that I am working on. I finally finished clue 3. Yes, I know there's 5 clues and they're all out, but I finally finished clue 3 of my Princess Bride mystery knit along. So I'm showing y'all. It's no longer a mystery. The whole thing is released if you want to make it. But it's got really fun stitches in it. Here's up to clue 3.
That looks
And
so cool.
Isn't it fun? And these little bobbly crisscrossies that I just ended with are the same as down here, but with the other 2 colors. They were really fun to do. I had this massive problem with my camera, like dying, like the app died. I was gonna do a whole minute of these crissy crossies, and it only caught one on the camera before it died, but I have that as a video and a reel over on Instagram. I love these colors. I'm seeing, if you go look up the hashtag for the As You Wish Mystery KAL over on Instagram, you can see all the really cool color combinations everyone's made. Most people are done and blocked. I'm still working on it because I'm doing the knit along with y'all. And this is made with chunky merino, so I'm already overheated.
I'm starting to get warm in my Dawson sweater.
Maybe the heat's actually working.
The heat's actually working.
It's like we're in that nebulous like springtime zone of like it's either too hot or too cold in the shop. Like it's at that middle zone where it doesn't know what to do to flip from air to heat. But at least it flips from air to heat. Our first year in the shop, there was like a screw through a wire somewhere where like every time it switched from air to heat or tried to switch systems, it would just die. And that was bad when it was cold out. So
yeah, there was one day you were all bundled.
I think it was beginning of the pandemic, and I was here by myself, and it wasn't warm enough yet outside, but the heat wasn't kicking on, and I had like half the shop on me to stay warm. It was ridiculous. Okay, before I do crazy big reveals of what I've done with the ranunculus so far, I actually knit a little on my Echo Point this weekend. So I'm almost done. One day I will finish. I'm back to colors A and B. And it's bunched up on here. We're not gonna really like show it off, like stretch it out or anything. But I'm back to
that looks so pretty.
The denim, which we haven't seen since the beginning. And I'm really excited. Like if we look up here, there's a little bit of the denim up here. So it's bunched up on my 60-inch needles. But that's how we're at, and I'm gonna finish it soon. And I might not block it because it's all garter squishiness and I don't think I need to make it bigger, but I'll bring it in and we can all vote on that when I finally finish it. I'm so close, and like I'm eating up a good chunk of the yarn for every ball. I've got some leftovers. I want to say that the oatmeal color in the center here, I have so much left of that because it wasn't used very much. But the others are balancing out to only probably have about 25 grams left at most. And we'll see how much I use up in the end part of this. Because the denim I still have, this is all Fiber Spates Vivacious DK, by the way, my favorite yarn. This is Fiber Spates Vivacious 4-ply. Are we shocked? No. If you know me, you're not shocked at that by that at all. I can't really speak. I'm a lot better than Saturday though. Like I can't even tell you. I was not functional Saturday. But I made it through the day. Yay. So I've got a lot of this denim left because not much was used up top. So we'll see how much I get through because these rows are getting really long. They are well over 300 stitches at this point. So I'm just happy I'm making progress at all. But that was our January knit along. I'm still working on it. It happens. So let's see. I have put my lace into my knit out box, which got crumpled, so it's not looking as crisp as it used to, but that's the beauty of it, is you can squish it and pack it.
That's
am
what I forgot today. My knit out box.
I was gonna say all your ranunculi. What?
No, they're all sitting right here.
I have gotten to almost to the raglan increases on my lace ranunculus. I'm doing two. I'm doing them at either end of the weight spectrum. And I'm gonna try, let's see if I can find, that's the blue one. Here we go. I'm gonna see if I can put it on barber cords really quickly, so y'all can see what it looks like on, because it's the really, really delicate one, right? So, Liz, do you want to show off
I can
one or
show
two
off
of yours?
mine. I have so
while I'm doing this and
I kind
attach
of
and slide.
let's see. This one is to the very last row of the flowers. Let me pull it. So
Oh, fun. And see, the other one I want to show off later is just at the beginning of the flowers, the little
this one-
4-petal flowers.
this
I
one's
like
just
call
to
them.
the end of the flowers on my red Patagonia.
Patagonia. And so that we would call that maybe a sport weight one. It's about the same, it's about the same weight as my sample that's over that I didn't put on today. But are you doing that one on an 11?
I'm doing that one on an 11.
Okay.
This is my DK worsted one, and I am just past the flowers. This one I am painting with.
She's painting with yarn.
Yarn.
Yay.
I'm past the flowers, just like they're right.
So you did the flowers in the, oh, you did some interspersing
Yep.
of your dark green and your multicolored yarn.
I want it to look like the woods with night and woods and little fireflies all over the sweater. So the Daydream dye works that I'm using is called Catching Fireflies. So and then I'm fireflies. So I'm mixing some dark green Sugar Bush Rapture that we're out of that color.
And could you be the reason we're out of, I mean, other people bought it too.
I bogarted it.
I just got this
I
totally off
bogarted
the
the
needles
last of it.
because I don't want it coming off the barber cord by accident by keeping it on the needles. So, okay. So that's your second. I mean, it's not
second.
that your second the second you're showing off today.
Yeah.
That is a fingering weight. What you
Fingering
got
weight.
there?
I'm doing it on a 10.5 needle, and I am into the pull the stitch through the other stitches.
The row
back to the top.
Row 30 and 31, because I was
Yeah.
working on this recently. So the very end. So you're almost done. There's like one increase after this, and then you're into the raglan.
Yeah.
This is the back. Okay.
And then I did not work on this. I did on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the pearl one, slip one with yarn in front.
Okay.
on
Just
my,
before the little flowers.
it's dark
blue.
It doesn't show
It
up
doesn't show
against
up
your
anything.
dark top.
Yeah.
But that one is a plant fiber blend of linen and cotton.
Yep.
I had someone make a comment somewhere of like, I have a wool cotton blend. I'm hoping that mine will block out. I don't know. And I don't know how much to tell you things will block. Like I would plan on making sure it fits before you block and not count on blocking to save you from that. But I think if we haven't mentioned before, stages 1 through 3 of the sweater, everybody does the same thing. Of this top, everybody does the same thing. It's at section 4. You have to decide what size to make. And I would err on the side of caution and pick a bigger size than you think you need to make, unless you don't want a super roomy top.
Or like we were talking to one of our knitters, keep trying it on as you do the raglan increases.
I have a caveat on that
Oh.
though, because you don't, it's not that everyone, because I've looked at that part,
Yeah.
and some people are at that part. You can keep trying it on and keep making it bigger if it doesn't work, but she has different setups for different sizes of where you put the stitch markers for the
That's true.
sleeve. So we talked to her like, hey, everybody just starts at the same spot with the raglan increases and you just go. Pick one that you think is going to work, because different sizes she has set up for different sleeve like circumferences at that point. And then she says different numbers of repeats. So there is a little bit of choice that needs to happen at that point. But pick one, like you might want to remeasure your, like some of us haven't measured our gauge, but it may be that you want to check your gauge at that point. If there's a spot where you can measure your stitches to see how many stitches per inch roughly you're getting.
Especially if you're going down needle sizes.
Yes, because then you have some math to figure out. And to pick which size you want to do. That could be based on what the circumference is going to be once the sleeve separation happens. So it's looking ahead and retro engineering it. And if you don't want to do that, what I tell people is, if you just went with the 10s and you're like, wee, is to err on the side of caution, maybe go up a size just in case. And then definitely, like, regardless, try it on as you go before you sleeve separate and after, to make sure it's going to fit you and not rely on blocking to save you. Because the other thing is, like, sometimes you can block things bigger. Depending on the plant fiber, it might not give too much and it might try to snap back to where it was. And the one thing blocking cannot save you from is making something smaller. Like, unless you have wool and you're going to play around with felting it later. If it's too big, blocking will not change that. Blocking, if anything, will make that worse. So, yeah. End lesson or diatribe or soapbox or whatever. Okay. So I've put this on my my barber cords to see what's going to happen. And I think I'm going to pick a really oversized, like, this is what it's going to look like. Look at all that pretty. You can still see the decoration in it, which is really cool. I made the extra wide neck for this one. So it is, you know, and the weight of it is probably going to pull, right, it even larger. Because Suzanne noticed that in an early video I made about sweaters. I'm wearing the Ranunculus right after I finish it, and the collar is like in here, and now it's stretched out to almost where this one is in terms of when I wear it. It's a wider one. But oh yeah, that's fun. Look at that. Look at that prettiness. Gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so lacy. And I think, because this is where we're at the point where we need to we're both getting near the points, or at the point where we need to, in section 4, we need to pick a size. Yeah. And I think I'm gonna pick an oversized one for this one, because it'll be huge, but it will drape nicely, so it will still conform to me, and it shouldn't look extra bulky. Now, my other one I'm about to show y'all, I'm probably gonna pick a snugger size than what I made before, just to test out like a more form-fitting, because it's a thicker yarn, so I don't want as much bulk around me. But the nice thing about this being oversized is, even if you pick a bigger size with a bulkier yarn, it's just gonna be comfy. It's really whether you want it to be super floppy and oversized or not. But this one I think is going to be awesome with extra material to it. So I'm playing around with that. I still haven't decided sleeve length with either of them. So, but I have time. Like, the only thing that comes into play with size and length of anything is how much yarn you need. But if you buy way more than you need, or have way more, because I have access to a whole shop, I have wiggle room. So So this is my Mayu Lace one. I think that's absolutely wonderful. I do have to pay attention sometimes to not drop stitches. My last increase row, I got to the end and my stitch count, I didn't have enough stitches left. So I worked my way across the row and I did some manipulation and fixing because I didn't do an increase in the right spot. But I didn't want to back it out. So I had some fun last night. So
You and your voodoo.
so this, I just started with my color changing yarn, and because I was making all these videos, I finally got to make progress past the collar, and it's so exciting. Look, it's so exciting and bold.
And I love how the stitch definition looks so different from the lace weight.
It's so different. I mean, you can really see it, and the color change helps make it pop. And this is Juniper Moon Cumulus Rainbow. So it is gradually changing. And even by the end of the collar, it was already changing colors. Because it's increasing, and I'm about to get into the raglan increases, it's going to change colors faster. And then when I get to this bright teal in the center, because I'm probably with the next ball going to start with the teal, there might be a really thick teal stripe in the center of this somewhere. I have no idea if I'm going to hit that by the time I do sleeve separation. That's part of the fun and experiment of what I'm doing. But look, Sun Dragon colors, yay! And short rows, but the more short rows in the back. I can also tell where the back is because that's where the end of my yarn is. And I ease it over my ponytail. I put this on a partial barber cord. It's still connected to my needle right there for pictures this morning. So it is already ready for me to do this.
That just
and try it on.
So pretty.
Oh, I'm so excited. This one I'm probably not going to make as big as this one. Believe it or not, thinner yarn, bigger garment is what I'm trying for. And I just want to show off different options. And this looks so different than the one that I've been wearing because it is. So Juniper Moon Cumulus, whether it's rainbow or solid or whatever, it's considered a worsted weight, but it actually looks really good on a size 10 needle. So I think Midori designed this to be a little like, even like she didn't go further than worsted weight, intending it not to have the stitches get too tight, to have some drape still left for it. And this is a cotton. It's a chainette cotton, so it's going to behave differently than a tight twist cotton, but it likes being on a 10 needle. So this is going to be really, really fun. I'm really excited about this actually. I've never knit with a rainbow by itself before. I've always striped it with like a solid. So
I've been thinking off and on about for next winter, because it's not going to happen now. But I have Baby Butts and Unicorn Kisses. And if I did it on an 11 or a 13.
Ooh, like a 13. And do like the smallest
do
size.
like the smallest size and like just see what that, because I mean Baby Butts and Unicorn Kisses, that's like mohair on steroids.
It's the, for people who don't know the lingo on that is the Amano Puyu. It's a silk chainette with alpaca blown into it, and it's a super bulky yarn. It's a light super bulky, but it's a super bulky yarn. It's just fun. That would be so cool.
I have one that I did on like
so many options
a
for this
17
top.
needle, and it feels like wearing a cloud.
Yeah,
a hot cloud.
A hot, fluffy, warm cloud.
Yes, it's like a cloud of fluffy fire. Especially inside, but outside it's very, very comfortable in the wintertime.
Yeah, and so that would be awesome. So there's, as long as you're willing to take some risks and not have it be predictable how it's going to come out, you can play around with this pattern and go outside the box with it. And even the way the pattern's written, it's kind of forcing you a little bit outside of your box potentially already. I'm seeing that on the Knit Along group, and when people embrace it, it's looking awesome. So like, a lot of people have joined. We're up to almost 100 members on the Facebook Sun Dragon KAL group. And some of those people joined during the Echo Point, and some of them joined during the Ranunculus. And you don't have to be working on either of those to join. We just ask that you be kind and supportive when you're in there. And please share photos. They don't have to be perfect. it's a chance for everybody to encourage and celebrate everything that we're doing, because knitting is not about being perfect. I mean, if it is for you, awesome. But for most people, perfection is really hard and maybe not going to be achieved. So enjoy what you have.
Well, and I find it
And the
interesting
imperfection is beautiful.
that a lot of not young, but young into the craft knitters, like
Newbies.
newbies, assume that the longer you've been doing it, the less mistakes that you make.
The fewer mistakes
And
you make. That's
yes,
just,
and
you just get better at fudging it.
yeah, either
Maybe.
fudging it or you learn where your stitches are and how to go back and correct them. But like, perfection never really happens because there's people involved. And
Well, and
you know.
that's part of a handmade garment is not going to be perfect. And there are so many cultures that celebrate that only like divine beings can make perfection. So we're human and we should embrace that. But so if you haven't joined if you're on Facebook, I encourage you to join the Sun Dragon KAL. Just read the guidelines and say, and if you can stick with them, which again are being kind and supportive. I go in there as often as I can to let people in. Even if you're just a skulking, and just try to like some posts and stuff like that. And if you think what someone's doing is kind of wonky, just scroll by. So because everything is gorgeous.
Embrace the wonky.
Embrace the wonky. Yay. So that's one way to share if you're doing this kind of stuff. We also, if you want to do the hashtag Sundragon KAL, a lot of people on Instagram are following that. You can see what people are doing. And that might be both things. We're going to keep adding, like every couple of months. I think we're going to throw something new in there. I think next on the docket is socks, potentially. I'm still mulling over. I have ideas. It's just fun and community. And if you'd like pictures of what you're working on shared here or in my newsletter, you can specify which, or you can just say, go ahead and use it. I don't post anything. The Facebook group is a closed, safe space. If you're okay with, so we ask people not to share what other people are doing there. If you're okay with me sharing your work, and I think all of the work is awesome, so I would love to share all of it, but I only do it with permission. And if you've given me permission in the past, I might forget that you have. So I'm going to err on the side of caution and only share things when people say, yes, please go ahead and share this. So if you say, why aren't you sharing my stuff? It's because I take my responsibility very seriously and I only share what people have given me permission to do. I think it's all worthy of sharing. All of it is gorgeous. So even stuff that is not perfect is gorgeous, in my opinion. But I wait for permission. Absolutely. So I'm going to put, hopefully if I remember, I'm going to put a couple pictures of what I'm working on. If I have Liz's permission, I might take a few pictures of hers. It depends on what I have time for today. And I know at least one knitter who's given me permission to share the ranunculus. In my newsletter, I share other things people are working on if they send it to me. It doesn't have to be knit along centric. So you can always email me, but I'm going to follow up if you don't specifically say, if you just send me a picture, I'm going to say, that's gorgeous. I might follow up with, can I share this? I'm not going to assume because you sent me a picture, it's okay to share it with others. Because I'm trying not to make assumptions, So anyway, we need to open up the shop. But I'm so glad we could share all this fun stuff with you. I may not make much progress on this until I can film a video. I want to do a video on how these 4 petals of the open work flowers, how you can help keep track of that it's going right. If you don't want to put stitch markers in, if you want to put stitch markers in, that's fantastic for pattern repeats. I've seen some people do that on the Facebook page. It's an excellent way to keep track before the end of the row and go, crap, I have to back out the whole thing. So, but I'm going to try to do a video on tips for that. What I'm finding is it's very hard for me to do that in the middle of the week. I burn all my energy on Monday, and then during the week working here at the shop, if I go home and film, it's like it's ooze. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes I can't. So like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We are
774.
We are 26 people away from another sale just for YouTube watchers in our online shop and at the regular shop. Wouldn't it be nice if we could get that in before the yarn crawl? Because I should do, the countdown is on to the yarn crawl. We'll have other discounts. It's gonna all happen
A
at the same
year
time.
ago, on the 14th, we were doing the 500 sale, my birthday sale, like
Everything came all at once. It'd be nice if we could spread them out, which means, you know, the 800 sale might have to wait till after the yarn crawl or something, because again, yarn crawl, we'll talk more about it on another day because we've run out of time today, but that's in a month. First week of May, all 11 yarn shops in the Western North Carolina area are doing really cool stuff. So visit them during that time. And for all of y'all who I'm your local yarn shop, but you can't come visit us, we might try to do something for y'all, but it's probably not going to be as big as coming to the shop. I'm sorry, but we can't be everything to everybody, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do for those of you who are our far away lovelies. Hang on, because I haven't figured that out yet. No show notes.
yeah.
So I'm going to hang on to this so I don't, you know, pull something apart and have to fix it later. And we're going to say goodbye, and I'm going to go turn the camera off so we can start our day.
That far from being done purling the round.
Purling the round, because she's not purling. Okay. We love you. We miss you. We hope you're staying safe.
Knit night tonight.
Yes, knit night tonight, 7 to 9 p.m. Come if you're doing the ranunculus. Come if you're not doing the ranunculus. We'll all try to, we always have different groups of people on, some core people, some new people, different people. We try to just make it work as best we can there. It's always an interesting experience. Come, it's on Zoom with the shop phone number.
828-877-3550.
And we'll see you tomorrow, where we might, I don't know if we'll put more ranunculus yarns. I mean, anything from lace weight to worsted is going to work for ranunculus. We'll see what we talk about tomorrow. We haven't decided yet, but we will see y'all soon. Okay. Bye.